Hello, it's Sunday, December 13th, day 13 of a COVID Christmas. I'm Pauline. I run the Scrapbook Room, a mobile and online scrapbook store, and I offer inspiration and friendship to scrapbookers just like you in the Scrapbook Playroom, an online Facebook group. Let's get started with today's prompt. In a normal year, tonight would be the annual Lions Christmas concert in our town. It's an event that's been going on for something like 70 or so years. I'm going to miss it. Local talent, laughter, music, and more from the Lions themselves singing "I've Got That Lions Feeling" down to the end of the show when Santa pops in. It was always a highlight of the season. You know what I mean, right? One of those feel-good nights that not only bring out the true meaning of Christmas, but it puts you in the mood for the coming holidays, if you weren't already in the mood, that is. So now what? There's no concerts that I know of. I suspect there may be some online, but not quite the same as a live concert. You know, we used to also have our annual night at the library. Not happening. Our library isn't even open to visitors yet. So what are you missing this year? No school concerts, no church pageants. It's kind of like the day the music died. But wait, let's not let that happen. We all know the carols. But wait, let's not let that happen. We all know the carols. Let's walk around our house singing. Let's listen to the music. Let's sing with the kids. So here's what to do for your prompt. So talk about how you're getting your music fixes. Talk about the events you're missing this year. Take a picture of your favorite music sheets or CDs, or simply use song lyrics for a title. It's time to play with the music, and I'll be right back with today's tips. So you want a music-themed page. Let's find some sheet music. There's lots of music-themed scrapbook paper. Many collection kits often include sheets. This one has several. This is a scrap from a Christmas package of paper, a piece of wrapping paper, a Christmas card with song lyrics, washi tape. You name it, there's music around. You just need to look for it. So find what you have and apply some of it to your scrapbook. You know what? The music doesn't even have to be Christmas music. Does it matter if the notes match the words? For me, no. I suppose if you're a perfectionist or musically skilled or making a book for a musician, it might. The rest of us are just going to know it's music notes. For today's mini album, I found the words "Let It Snow" on the covering from a paper pack. You know, the little squares on the front of the paper that most of us tend to throw in the trash. I always save these because the small images of the papers in the pack make perfect accent pieces for pages and books. So first I chose this brown striped paper for the photo mat and trimmed it to match the left side page. I wanted to make the corners match too, so I took my 1-inch circle cutter and I cut a notch in the one corner here. Then I took that notch and I traced on the back so that I could match my other corners approximately. I'll go ahead and cut those now. Just putting this in, if you turn the circle cutter upside down, you can easily see where you're cutting. And there's our 4 corners. If your paper is thin, it's sometimes hard to punch. If that happens, I recommend you just take an extra paper scrap, hold it under, and punch like that. And it'll go through much easier. I wanted the circle from the number to match the red in the title, so I cut a circle out of another piece on that paper. I hated to waste that little square, but I reminded myself most people would have trashed the whole sheet anyway. So I once again applied adhesive only to the top and bottom of my mat to allow for a paper tuck in position. And I added adhesive only to the bottom part of my title. I wanted to sit it at the bottom of the page. So by putting that tape only there, it will allow for a photo to tuck inside. I thought the page looked a little bland, so I cut a couple of little pieces that will go like this. And the other one is jammed in my book. And like this. And because these are so darn tiny, I'm going to use some of my mono liquid glue to adhere them to the page. Now, I'm not always a fan of using glue because I'm a bit of a slob and it can leak out, but we'll see what we can do. As you can see, very thin line of glue, and I'll put that about there. I don't measure, I eyeball. If you're a perfectionist, you might want to measure. And lastly, my number needs to get attached, and we will cover one of the corners, but I'll put it up so that it doesn't get in the way of a photo. And the page is done with the spot for journaling under there. In my own album, I'm simply going to write about my favorite carol and why it is so. You'll remember I showed you earlier that I had the lyrics for the Huron carol. 'Twas in the moon of winter time when all the birds had fled. My favorite. I always loved that song since I was a schoolgirl. So I'm going to write that story in my book. This picture accompanied the song. I'm going to cut along here and across here, and I'll put it down. I'll leave this open so I have a pocket to tuck the entire song in, and perhaps I'll write my little journaling notes on the back of the page. So I will do that later. And for a few more ideas for music pages, use a sheet of music so the song title works as your page. Use music notes for a journaling block. I've got a few samples here. This page is the actual lyrics. I did a little journaling on the side of the page. Here my background is We Three Kings of Orient Are. I was taking this fudge to Southern Ontario, so We Three Kings of Orient Are. Here I added bearing gifts, we travel afar. And sorry, I didn't show you that. Here I've got some song lyrics showing in the photo. For this music sheet, I took the music sheet, added a little embellished sticker to the top of it to decorate it up. And here was one line of a song was on the bottom of a piece of scrapbook paper. So as you can see, there are all kinds of ways you can apply music to your books. You could type or write out a verse of a carol that fits your layout. Simply cut a title on your Cricut. So experiment, find a way to use music on your page, and don't forget to sing. See you tomorrow.